Welcome back to Kidsplaining. I'm Jared.
And I'm Daniel.
This is my dad.
Yep. And today I'm going to be teaching you some games that play really well over Zoom or video chat, but since this is going to be me, this is Kidsplaining, so a kid needs to explain something to you, so Jared is here to explain something to you.
An atom is radioactive when it is unstable and is slowly breaking down into other smaller atoms of a different type that are stable. And you can use this to date how long ago something existed. Take carbon-14, for example. It breaks down into nitrogen-14, and you can use how much nitrogen-14 and carbon-14 there is left to date how long ago something existed, like animals. But this dating can only be used for something that was alive 50,000 years ago.
Or less.
Yeah, or less. Yep. So now my dad's going to teach you how to play some games over Zoom.
All right, thank you for explaining that. So like we said, this video is going to be a little bit different than normal. I'm doing this one so we can get it out quick in time for the holidays. It's going to be a little bit simpler, not as many graphics or anything. But the point of this video, the reason we're doing it, is we know that this year has been different and a lot of people are going to not be traveling for the holidays, not be going home to see family. For us, a big part of our holidays is playing games with family, and I know that a lot of people might be feeling like they're going to have to miss out on that this year since they're not traveling. If you're not traveling, there's still great games that you can play over Zoom, Google Chat, Skype, whatever. So we just wanted to show you some of the games that we this year have found work really, really well over video chat. So our criteria when we were picking the games that we were going to include were, one, that only one person needs a copy of the game. We didn't want to give you a list of games where 10 people are going to go have to buy a game. So for all of these, only one person needs the game. Everyone else, for the most part, will need either a dry erase board like this. These work great. They're small. You can hold them up on camera. They work awesome. If you don't have something like this, you can use a pen and paper, like a legal pad, but I highly recommend if you're gonna go the paper route that you use a Sharpie. Especially don't use pencil because it's really hard to see, but Sharpie just shows up well on camera. Some of the games like Railroad Ink and Cartographers are roll and writes, and you do need to print off a sheet, but those are available online and we will leave links to those in the description so you can go find those. They're free, you just need to print them off ahead of time so you can play along. A few of the games do require a second camera like Wavelength and Railroad Ink and Cartographers, but honestly what works well with that is just to kind of prop your phone up and dial your phone in onto the Zoom call or whatever as a second camera and just set that off to the side. If you have to do something overhead, maybe stack a box and kind of sit your phone leaning out over so you can see down. That's not going to be an issue with most of these. But if you do need a second camera, you can just use your phone, or if you have another computer with a webcam, you can do that. But phones work great for that. Just dial them in as an extra participant. So with that, we're going to get started and jump into these games. So the first game we have for you is Railroad Ink. Yeah, this is a roll and write. You will need to, if you don't have the game, you'll need to print off the sheet for it. It's going to look like this, and the links for that is in the description. But we're not really teaching the games, but we are going to teach you any modifications that you'll need. I'll give you a brief overview and then teach you any modified rules that you'll need in order to play over Zoom. So the basic premise of Railroad Ink, it's a roll and write. It is one of our favorite games. It's a fantastic game. But you have these dice that have roads and railroads on them. You roll the dice and it gives you 4 railroads. You play it over 7 rounds. Each round you're going to roll the dice. If you're playing with an expansion, then it's over 6 rounds. But you roll the dice and you get these 4 roads or railroads or combinations of them that you can use, and you draw that onto your map. And your goal is to connect as many of these red arrows as you can, to have the longest road, to have the longest railroad. You're trying to get points that way. It plays really, really well over Zoom because the only thing you need to be able to do is see the dice. So this is one of those where you would need your phone, and probably the easiest thing to do is not even to prop your phone up, but just to roll them, to use your phone to show the dice, and then everyone can go and just put a little tick mark here. This shows all of the options for what you could roll. and just put a little tick mark there to see it. And then if you want to, you could prop your phone up pointing at the dice so everyone can see them. But that's going to be the gist of it. Usually if you're playing in person, you would take turns rolling the dice. Obviously you can't do that unless multiple people do have a copy of the game. But you're going to roll the dice. Everyone is going to use all 4 of those dice to draw their roads and railroads. And then when everyone's ready, you roll the dice again, and that's your next round. Again, Railroad Inc. is such a fun game. It is one of our favorite roll and writes. So even for not Zoom, I highly recommend picking this up. It's going to be a great addition to your collection. Good. So the second game we have for you is Medium, which is a fantastic party game. It's so much fun to play. So the premise of this game is you have these cards. I don't know how well you can see this, but they're divided up into 15 sections, and the cards all have the number on the top. That's upside down. They have the number on the top, so this is 7. So you want to divide them all into stacks with their numbers. So you're going to have 15 stacks. These dividers in the box work great. If you want to lay them out, you can. You're pairing up 2 people at a time, and you're giving them 2 random words which are going to be selected from the box. And their goal is to find the medium between those words, to find the words to connect their brain waves, and figure out the word that connects those 2 words. So I pulled out, for example, flower and nose. So to me, the medium of those, the obvious one is smell. This one is pretty obvious. A lot of them aren't, and you're going to get random words that don't seem to have a connection. So basically what you're going to do for this also has some tokens and some different stuff. You don't use those when you're playing over Zoom. This is a pretty heavily modified version where you're using the basic premise of the game, but you're not using a lot of the extra stuff, the rules for the game, where you would be if you were playing in person. So here's how this works. Here's how we play this game over Zoom. So the person with the game is going to you're going to randomly select 2 people on a team, make sure that you rotate around so everyone gets to play. Each of those 2 people is going to pick a random number. So let's say person 1 picks 12. You're going to draw a card from the 12 slot, which is black. Person 2 picks 8, and you're going to pick, that was 7. Yeah. Person 2 picks 7. So you're going to pick another card, and in this case, it's leaf. So we have leaf and black. So the 2 people that are playing are trying to connect their brain waves and come up with one word that is the medium that is in between leaf and black. Maybe walnut, because black walnut trees, I have no idea. So in round 1, they're going to write down their word on their dry erase board. You're going to count 3, 2, 1. They're going to reveal their word. If they happen to come up with the same word on round 1, each of those 2 people gets 3 points. Now at the same time, everyone else is going to be doing the same thing. They're going to come up with a word. If they get the same word, they get 1 point. The 2 people that are up that round can get 3 points for connecting. So if you both say walnut, then you get 3 points. The round is over. You go on to the next round, pick 2 new people. They're going to pick their numbers, get their words, and you start over again. But if you don't say the same thing, let's say one person says walnut and one person says berry. In that case, you go on to round 2. You are going to ignore those 2 words that you started with now, and now you're going to take the 2 words that the player said, in this case walnut and berry, and now those are your 2 words, and you're trying to find a medium between those 2 words. If both players come up with the same word on round 2, they get 2 points. If not, they take the new 2 words that they've come up with and play a 3rd round. If they connect on the 3rd round, then they get 1 point. If they don't connect on the 3rd round, no one gets any points. And you move on, pick 2 new people, and that round is over. So this game is a lot of fun. It creates a lot of laughs. It creates a lot of confusion. You're going to be shocked at how many times you come up with the same completely random word. I just recommend that you make sure you mix it up so people are playing with and paired with different people. Play as many rounds as you want. Again, with a lot of these games, keep score if you want, but it's not. The point of this isn't to keep score and see who wins. The point of this is just to have fun with your family and friends when you can't connect with them in person. So that's Medium, super fun game. Again, we'll have a link to all of these games down in the description so you know where to find them. The next game we have is Cartographers, which is one of our family favorites. And we actually learned this game over Zoom. The first time we played was with the Charity Board Gamer on one of his streams. So we learned this game over Zoom. Plays great. You do need a second camera for this one so that you can show the scoring and just show the cards that are coming out. It is a flip and write, so you do need the map sheets. Again, we will leave a link to these in the description so you can go to print these off. They're available on the Thunderworks website for free. So basically the basic premise of this game is you are drawing a map. At the end of the game, it's going to look something like this or like this. Highly recommend playing with colored pencils. It's a lot of fun. You get to be artsy and all that. It's a really fun game. So it's played over 4 seasons. You have spring, summer, fall, and winter. And at the beginning of the game, you are going to pull out 4 cards that tell you how to score, which is these cards right here. So this one, earn 1 reputation star for each row and column with at least 1 forest space. The same forest space can be scored in a row and column. So in this map, you would get, when this is scored, you would get 1 point for each forest space per row and column, right? However rows and columns go. The significance of the seasons, they have A, B, B, C. That is what you are going to score that round. You will play over 4 seasons, and each season you're going to be scoring 2 of these scoring cards. So you need to keep up with the seasons and know what season you're in so you know which of these you're trying to score in. Now during the game, you're going to be flipping over cards that look like this. It's going to have a shape and a terrain type. You have villages, you have fields, you have forest, and you have water spaces. And then you have the shape at the bottom. You can flip the space around. You can flip the shape around however you want. If it has 2 different kinds of terrains on it, you can pick which type of terrain you want to use, but you have to draw that shape on your map somewhere. And again, so if you're trying to score for the one we went over, you would want to maximize, get the most forest spaces in each row and column and think through that. You can put it anywhere on the map that you want, except for a couple small circumstances that you'll learn when you actually go through the rules of the game. It really plays the same from the map drawing, from all of that, from the shape perspective. It plays the same whether you're playing over Zoom or playing in person. It is helpful if you can maybe take a picture of everything, of the scoring cards, and text them to everybody so that they can reference that and don't have to try and look at a small video chat screen. And the biggest thing is just to know what you're scoring and what season you're in. The other modification is for the monsters. Whenever you have a monster attack, usually when you're playing in person, you would hand your map to another player and they would get to draw your monster attack on your map for you. When you're playing over Zoom, you're going to do this the way you do in a single player game, which is you're going to start from one corner. I don't know how well you can see that, but there's a corner shown in the top. And what you do is you take that and you take this shape, and with the goblins, you cannot rotate or change the shape at all. It has to be in that orientation. And you're going to start from that corner and move in the direction of these arrows until the first place that it will fit. The first place it fits, you're going to go ahead and draw it on your map. Other than that, the game plays exactly the same remotely as it does in person. And you're just going to need some kind of cell phone or something dialed into the call so that you can see as cards get flipped over. And this is a basic overview of the rules. You will need to read the rules, learn all the ins and outs of it, but that's the gist of it. Again, we've played it numerous times on video chat. We love this game. It's so much fun to play, and it's a good relaxing game, and it's just a lot of fun to have colored pencils and get to be artsy for a little bit. So that's Cartographers. Fantastic game. We love it. One of the favorites in our family. Play it every chance we get. So hope you enjoy this one and add this great game to your collection. So the fourth game we want to tell you about is Codenames. Very well known, great party game. This one, actually, you're not going to play the physical game over Zoom. The publisher, CGE, has actually set up a free-to-play online platform. And to get there, you're going to go to codenames.game. The difference with this one is you don't need to necessarily be on Zoom. You could be on speakerphone. You could still be on video chat if you want, but you're going to be using the screen on the website to play, not the cameras. So to play, go to codenames.game. And that's going to bring you to this screen right here where you're going to click. So one person is going to go in and create the game and invite everyone else. So click on Create Room, type in your name, and click the Create Room button. That's going to bring up this screen where you will select a language. In this case, we're going to do English, and start a new game. It gives you two options for word packs to use. You can keep them both selected. It's not gonna change the game. So you're gonna click on Start New Game, and then in the upper left-hand corner of the screen, it's gonna tell you the players. If you click on that, it's gonna give you an address that you can send to everyone. Everyone's gonna put that link in and go to that page, and it's gonna bring you all to the same page. Once you get to that page, you're gonna see this, which is gonna be a bunch of words and the red team and the blue team. So everyone needs to divide up evenly. Click on Join as Operative to join the team. Once you have everybody on a team, pick who's going to be the Spy Master that round. That's going to be the person giving clues, and that person is going to click Join as Spy Master, and then they will see this on their screen, which is all of the red cards, all of the blue cards, and then the black card, which is the spy. That's who you're trying to avoid. So if you've never played Codenames, you have a Spy Master on each team. Those two people can see the colored cards, and they're trying to lead their team to find the cards of their color. So the red team is trying to find the red cards, the blue team is trying to find the blue cards. If anyone selects the black card, which is the spy, then that team loses. So the goal of the game, the two Spy Masters are trying to get their team to select their words, which are shown on the screen. The Spy Masters see those as different colors. Everyone else just sees a bunch of words on the screen. So you lead people to those words by giving a one single word clue and a number. The clue is the clue, and the number is how many cards you are trying to guide people to. So if I was trying to guide my team to Nile and pyramids, I might say Egypt 2. That means Egypt is the clue, and there are 2 cards on the table that correspond to that clue. You just have to be careful that you don't lead people to other words that are either the other team or the spy. So that's the basics of the game. You're trying to give clues to lead people to your words. The way that works on the online platform is you know whose turn it is because the background changes colors. When it's blue, it's the blue team. When it's the red team. The Spy Master is going to come up with their clue, and then in the box at the bottom, they're going to type it in and then select a number from the pop-up and then click on Give Clue. It will then show everybody that clue. If you're going to be on chat with them, so you can say the clue also. And then your team is going to select the cards that they think correspond to that clue. If you click on the top left corner of a card as a team member, it will star it, and you can kind of select the clues that you think might be it, but as soon as you click on the middle or the top right of the card, it's going to select it. Once your team is finished guessing, you need to click at the bottom that you're finished guessing, and it'll go to the next team. And then you go back and forth until someone finds all of their words or someone accidentally clicks the spy, and the game is over. So that's the Codenames Online platform. I think it's awesome that CGE set that up, that it's free to use, it's available, really easy to pick up. I've played online a lot. It's really easy to get used to. Overall, the rules for the game, it's a really easy game to learn, and just a really, really fun party game. So that's Codenames, and more importantly, Codenames Online. Again, the website is codenames.game. It is completely free to use, completely free to play as much as you want. The next game we have for you is MonsDRAWsity. It is a silly game where you are taking turns playing the role of a witness who saw a really weird creature, like one of these on the front of the box. And then everyone else is playing the role of like a police sketch artist. So how the game works is there are these cards. I'm only going to show one so I don't give away too much of the game. But you have these cards that have a weird creature on them. The witness is going to look at that card for 20 seconds, study it, remember as much as they can about it, and then they're going to describe this creature to everyone else, and everyone else is going to try and draw it. So playing over Zoom, what you would do is everyone would look down and close their eyes. The person with the game would, without looking at it, unless they're the witness, they would hold up a card to the screen. The witness would study that for 20 seconds, and then they'd put the card down, not talk about it, and then you need to start a 2-minute timer, and the witness is going to take that 2 minutes to describe from memory everything they can about that creature, and everyone else is trying to draw it while they can, just from that description. You can ask questions, you can ask clarifying things. How many, did it have tentacles? How many eyeballs did it have? Things like claws or finger, whatever. You can ask as many questions as you want, and you are trying to draw this. You're trying to get to this. There are a bunch of different cards, and they all have a different weird creature. So after that 2 minutes, everyone is going to reveal their drawings, and the witness is going to pick the person that they thought was closest to the creature. And in the actual game, when you're playing in person, there's a segment of the scoring where all of the artists look at the creature and vote who they thought got closest. But for this, playing over Zoom, I think it's probably easiest just to have the witness award points to the person that they thought was closest, and then you go around to the next person, and they're gonna be shown a card. Everyone's gonna look down, look away from the camera. They're gonna study that card for 20 seconds, and then the next round starts. Again, you do not want to look through the cards, because the point of this is to draw what you haven't seen. So there's a bunch of cards in the game, so it's not like there's 10 cards and it's gonna be over after just a few rounds. There are a lot of cards in the game, and there's also an expansion with more cards, but do not look through the cards ahead of time. You want to be blind to what you're actually drawing. So really fun, really silly game, lots of laughs. Yeah, it's just going to be fun to see what other people come up with from hearing the same description that you're hearing. So that's MonsDRAWsity. Hope you enjoy it. Again, lots of laughs with this one, really silly, just lots of opportunity to have fun with it. The next game we have for you is called Tattoo Stories, which is actually by the same designer as MonsDRAWsity by Eric Slauson. Neither of these games, they both involve drawing, but you don't need to have actual artistic skill to play either of them and have a great time. I am terrible at drawing and have a blast playing these. So in Tattoo Stories, you are taking turns playing the role of a customer who is going to be getting a tattoo, and everyone else is a tattoo artist competing for that customer's business. So the way this works is you have these cards that all have a word or a prompt on them. So to play, you're going to draw 5 cards. Again, only one person needs to have this. They will just draw the cards for everyone. And then it works best if you put the prompts in the comments so everyone can see them, and you don't have to, or write them down, but you'll want to be able to reference the prompts to see what they are. So I've pulled out the first 5, and they are lion, written backwards so I can read it in a mirror, jetpack, ice cream, and bathroom item. Now the significance of these are the 5 things that you have to incorporate into your tattoo design. So the customer is going to set a 3-minute timer, and everyone is going to have 3 minutes once they've been given these prompts to create a tattoo design that incorporates all 5 of these prompts. And during that 3 minutes, you can ask the customers questions. The customer can give input. They can try and throw you off. They can add information based on these prompts in that 3 minutes. It's a tattoo, so you cannot erase. Once you have drawn something, you just have to roll with it. So you may find out after 2 minutes that for ice cream, the customer hates ice cream out of a bowl and only eats ice cream out of a cone. If you've already drawn a bowl of ice cream, you're just going to have to roll with that and figure out how to fix it. So after 3 minutes, everyone stops drawing and presents their tattoo designs to the customer. Sell it, talk about why you picked different elements of it, have fun with it. It's so much fun hearing how people interpreted these things differently. And then once everyone presents their tattoo design, the customer is going to award points to different artists. So each card is worth 1 point. So the customer will go through each item and pick either a different artist or the same artist for each different card and give points based on those. So they're going to give out 5 points total. And again, you could, if you really like one design over all of the others, you can give 5 points to one person. You can give 1 point to 5 different people. You can mix it up however you want. And then after that, whoever actually has the game with them is going to draw the next 5 cards. The next customer is going to talk about those cards and what they want from their tattoo design. And you're going to set a 3-minute timer and start drawing. And again, you can ask questions of the customer. You can ask for things to get inspiration, to clarify, things like that, to get ideas. This game is so funny to play. Again, it's kind of like this one, just to hear how a bunch of different people interpret things differently and draw them out differently. Again, you don't need to have a lot of artistic talent. It kind of helps if you do, but for the most part, you're selling your design, and hearing those descriptions is one of the most fun parts of the whole process, is just hearing how people came up with what they drew. So that's Tattoo Stories. Again, we're going to leave links to all of these games where you can get them in the description. And now on to the next game. The next game we have for you is Wavelength. We have played this many times over video chat and had a blast every time we've played. So the way this game works is you're going to want to, first of all, you're going to need, this is one of those that requires a second camera. Again, a phone just pointing at this. You just need to make sure that this dial is visible during the game. That's the most important part, is that this part is visible. So the way it works is you're going to divide into teams as evenly as you can. And then each round, one person on the team is going to be the clue giver. And what they're going to do is everyone's going to close their eyes. And the person with the game is going to reveal this. They're going to spin this so it's in a random spot. They're going to open this up and reveal where this right here is, where the markings on this are. The person who is giving the clue is going to look at that, memorize where it is, and then this is going to get closed back. And then once this is closed, everyone can open their eyes again. Now the clue they're going for is based on this prompt. So in this case, the prompt is high calorie this way, low calorie this way. So I'm going to open this back up. You would not open this back up during the game. It stays closed until the end of the round when they've dialed in their guess. So let's pretend this is over here where 4 is all the way over at this side. So for a high calorie clue, I as the clue giver might say an entire cheesecake. It doesn't have to be one word, it just has to be a single thought. So I'm going to tell my team an entire cheesecake, and then I'm done. I have to stay silent. I can't give any more clues, any more hints. Again, this is going to be closed, and then my team is going to guess where they think that is on this. Again, high calorie, low calorie. So as the person running the game, I'm going to adjust this as I'm directed by the team. So they may think, okay, an entire cheesecake is all the way over here. We'll maybe back it off a little because you could eat 2 cheesecakes. I don't know. So then once this is dialed in, the other team has a chance to get 1 point by guessing if they think that the correct answer is to the left, or whichever way, to the left or to the right of where this is right now. So once they pick, they think, okay, well, I think cheesecake, an entire cheesecake is farther this way. So once the guess has been made, this is going to be revealed. In this case, the team that was guessing got 2 points, but the correct answer was further to this side, so the other team would also get 1 point. So, and you keep score with this track right here. Now there is a catch-up mechanic in this game, so that the team that's behind always has a chance to catch up and win. And the way that works is, if the team that is guessing is behind and they nail it, they get 4 points on their round. If they get 4 points and they are still behind in points, they take another round immediately. They take another turn immediately. So there's always a chance to catch up no matter how far behind you are. If your team gets 4 points and you're still behind, you get to go again immediately. So when the round is over, you're going to draw a new prompt. There's a bunch of prompts in these cards that all have different things with arrows pointing to either side. So you play until one team has 10 points, and then the game is over. So, man, if you get 4 points every turn, which is very unlikely, it can go pretty quick, and you may want to play a couple of games. But again, this is a really great party game, and someone will obviously need to have the game, and you will need to set up a camera pointed to this so that people can always see the wheel here. And to do it, you're going to hide it. You're going to scramble it. Everyone's going to close their eyes, and you are going to reveal this for just the clue giver to see, to memorize where it is and come up with their clue. And then this closes back. And at that point, everyone can look again, and they're going to give a clue. So hope you enjoy this game. We have loved playing this. It's so much fun to play. And the last game we have for you is Blank Slate. And again, this list was not an ordered list. It wasn't a ranked list. It was just 8 games that we really enjoy playing. So the last one is Blank Slate, which is super easy to play. So the way this game works is you have this box of cards. Everyone's going to need a whiteboard or a piece of paper or something. It comes with these little whiteboard tabs, but so everyone will need something to write on. And you're going to draw a card. This one, each card has a word and a blank. The white side has the word, then the blank. The gray side has the blank, then the word. That's the only difference between the two sides. So the way this works is you'll draw the card. So this one is fried blank. So everyone is going to try to come up with a word to fill in the blank. So you're going to draw this card, let everyone know the prompt, and then they're going to fill in the word that they think best fills in that blank. And then once everyone is ready, you're going to reveal your cards or you're going to reveal your whiteboards and the word that you chose. Now, the way the scoring works is if exactly 2 people write the same word, then those 2 people get 3 points. If more than 2 people write the same word, then everyone who wrote that word gets 1 point. So if only 2 people write the same word, then those 2 people get 3 points. If more than 2 write the same word, everyone who wrote it gets 1 point. If no one else wrote the same word, you don't get any points. So for fried, maybe chicken. So let's say you're playing with 10 people and 5 people write chicken, then those 5 people are all going to get a point. And if 2 people wrote okra, then those 2 people are going to get 3 points. And then the people who didn't match with anyone are all going to get 0 points. So we play with kind of a house rule when we play that if everyone except for 1 person writes the same thing. So if 9 people wrote chicken and 1 person wrote okra, because that 1 person is a really unique thinker, they get 5 points for being the only person that didn't write the same thing, and everyone else gets their 1 point. So everyone writes their word, everyone reveals their cards, and then you award points. It comes with a score tracker. If you have this, you can use it. But basically, you just play until someone gets 25 points or however long you want to play. It's a very flexible game to play. You can play as long as you want. You can keep going after 25 points. You can play for as long or as short a time as you want. So that's Blank Slate. Really simple rules, really easy to pick up, very replayable, just a lot of fun to play. It's pretty widely available, pretty easy to find, but we will leave a link in the description to where you can find it if you want to buy it online. So again, the reason we did this video is we know that a lot of people, just specifically in 2020, are not going to be traveling for Christmas, are going to be looking for other ways to engage with family and friends. And these are all games. This is by no means a complete list of all the games you can play online, but these are games that we have had consistently fun experiences with playing online. So I hope this helps you figure out ways. Again, I know people are bummed that they can't travel, that they're stuck at home and aren't going to be able to see family and maybe do some of the things they normally do. And for us, that means that we're not going to get to play games with the people that we like to play games with over the holidays. But hopefully this just gives you an alternative way to engage, to have fun, to create memories. We also, as we were coming up with this list, wanted to do some games that maybe you hadn't heard of and introduce you to some new games. So I hope we were able to do that. And again, I hope that these are just games that you will cherish, that you will enjoy playing, that will create opportunities for you to have fun with your family and friends over the holidays and in the future. So once again, for most of these games, you're just going to need a whiteboard to play. A few of them you will need to print out the sheets for Cartographers and Railroad Ink. We will have links to those in the description to where you can find those sheets from the publishers. And we'll have links to all of these games where you can purchase them online if you would like to add them to your collection. Again, this video was a little bit different. Most of our videos are Jared and Peyton. So be sure to check those out. They've got some great tutorials. We have some really fun podcasts out. And be sure to subscribe down below, and you can find links to some of our other videos over here. See you later. Bye.